Good morning to all our participants. My name is Raphanan, or Ne for short. I will be your MC for this Metta course, and we are very happy to welcome you to our Metta meditation in daily life. We have altogether 88 participants from 5 different nationalities: Malaysian, Singaporean, Thai, Australian, and Vietnamese. These are 2 weekends workshops, so you need to attend both weekends unless you have any other important thing to do. But please kindly take this meditation course respectfully and diligently as the respect to the Dharma and the teacher. And this is our very first Metta workshop. So if there are any shortcoming, we would like to ask for your forgiveness. And first of all, I would like to read aloud the etiquettes for our Zoom sections. So you join Zoom meeting room by your name. Please rename yourself accordingly. If you not have done so, please ensure that your audio is muted to avoid interrupting the section. Do turn on your video by making sure that your video bottom showing the following icon. If you wish to leave a comment, please click chat and type in the comment box. Please keep the chat box spam free. In order to see the speaker in full view, please select speaker view instead of gallery view in the upper right corner of your Zoom screen. This section will last for about 1 to 2 hours, so please have your device connected to the power or have your charger on standby. I will now invite Bhante Nyanaramsi. We will start off by paying homage to the Triple Jing and then ask for 5 precepts. Please wait. So we start by paying homage to the Triple Jing. Buddhang Pushen, Dhammang Pushen, Sanghang Pushen, and then we'll asking for 3 refuge and then 5 precepts. อหังพันเตสังสาราวัตตทุกขโตโมจนะทายะติสรเนนะสหะปัญจศีลังดัมมะยาจามิอนุกหังกตวาศีลังเทถะเมพันเตทุติยัมปิอหังพันเตสังสาราวัตตทุกขโตโมจนะทายะติสรเนนะสหะปัญจศีลังดัมมะยาจามิอนุกหังกตวาศีลังเทถะเมพันเตตติยัมปิอหังพันเตสังสาราวัตตทุกขโตโมจนะทายะติสรเนนะสหะปัญจศีลังดัมมะยาจามิอนุกหังกตวาศีลังเทถะเมพันเต
ยามหัมวดามิตัมวเดธา
อามะพันเต
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ
บุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิ
พุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิ
สรณกัมมนัมปริปุณัม
อามะพันเต
ปานาติปาตาเวรมณี
ปานาธิปาตาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอทินนาทานาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยะมัชฌัปปมาสถานาเวระมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอิมานิปัญจสิกขาปทานิสมาธิยามิอิมานิปัญจสิกขาปทานิสมาธิยามิอิมานิปัญจสิกขาปทานิสมาธิยามิ
อิดาเมสีลัง
อิทังเมสีลัง
มากาภาลยานัสสะ
มากาภลายานัสสะ
ปัจจโยโหตุ
ปัจจโยโหตุ
อัปปมาเดนะสัมปาเดธา
อามะพันเตสาธุสาธุสาธุ Now I would like to invite Venerable Nyanaramsi sir to give the instructions and metta on metta and all the Dhamma talks.
A very good morning to all yogis. May all you have a happy day. So, first, I shall explain what is a happy day in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha. In accordance with the teachings of Buddha, those who engage in good conduct by body, speech and mind in the morning. Have a good morning. Those who engage in good conduct by body, speech and mind in the afternoon, have a good afternoon. Similarly, those who engage in good conduct by body, speech and mind in the evening, have a good evening. So those who engage in good conducts, these three good conducts will have a happy day. So today is a happy day, an auspicious day, where we put forth effort to develop good conduct by mind. In other words, we put forth effort to cultivate good mental conducts. The teachings of Buddha, in brief, consist of three kinds of training. Training in morality, training in concentration or calmness, and the third training in wisdom. The purpose of training in morality is to purify body conduct and verbal conduct, or in other words, to purify our body actions and speech. The next two trainings, trainings in concentration, calmness, and training in wisdoms, is to purify the mind. In other words, to remove all kinds of impurities of mind, or to uproot mental defilements that lie deep inside our mind. So this course is about the practice of loving kindness, development of loving kindness. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this word metta, loving kindness, thoughts of goodwill. The word metta is derived from another word, metta. Metta means friends. It's like karyana metta, karyana metta, or good friends, or wise friends. So here, metta is better define metta as the true friend in need. So this is the characteristics of metta. There's friendliness. So the characteristics of metta is friendliness. There is natural that its function is to promote friendliness. So when one makes an effort to develop the thoughts of friendliness, then the opposites of friendliness for example, the feeling of hostility, dislike, or thoughts of evil will disappear. So the essence of friendliness or metta here is seeing with a kindness. So here we make an effort to cultivate the wholesome thoughts of loving kindness, or in other words, thoughts of goodwill. We have to rightly understand that all actions begin from the mind. The origin of all kinds of action is the mind. If the mind is not if the mind is not purified, in other words, if the mind is defiled by, for example, lobha, the word lobha means greed or greedy mind, or craving, unwholesome longing, evil desires. So when the mind is defiled by these impurities, then this defiled mind cause one to commit evils, or to violate moral precepts. If the mind is defiled by dosa, dosa means hatred, anger, aversion, dislike. So when the mind is defiled, that defiled mind causes one to commit evil, such as violating the moral precepts and so on. If the mind is deluded, the delusion causes one to commit evil. So it's important to remove impurities of the mind, or to abandon mental defilements, in order to live peacefully or happily. So we have to rightly understand that the purpose of loving kindness meditation is to overcome dosa. The word dosa means hatred. Usually we use the word hatred for dosa. But dosa may manifest in different degrees of intensities, such as anger, ill will, aversion, dislike, resentments, and so on. So it's important to understand that when with the arising of dosa in the mind, that itself is the cause of mental suffering. So one has to overcome this mental suffering, which is caused by any form of dosa or any degrees of dosa, by by removing it, by replacing it with the opposites. So the opposites of dosa is metta, or non-hatreds. We have to activate the mental state of non-hatreds. So the most important aim of practicing loving kindness meditation, or to cultivate the thoughts of loving kindness, is overcome dosa. We have to understand that the dangers of dosa in the mind. If one can't see the danger of dosa, then one would not put forth effort to remove dosa. So as we all know, when one is when the mind of a person is overcome by dosa, or with the mind obsessed by thoughts of ill will, then that person may think of harming others, or may think of various ways to cause pain, suffering to others, sometimes due to self-hatred. Sometimes one hates oneself because of certain reasons. Then one may also think of the way to cause pain, suffering to oneself, or sometimes due to hatred. One thoughts is occupied with unwholesome thoughts of causing pain, suffering to others. So in that way, one will experience mental suffering and dejections. So that's why the Buddha taught us to abandon these unwholesome mental factor of dosa. So when dosa is abandoned, then one will not have the intention to cause pain, suffering to others, to oneself, or to both. So in other words, it is because of unwholesome mental factor of dosa, one will engage in misconduct, or one will commit evil deeds through the body or speech and thoughts. So when the mind is overpowered by dosa or by other unwholesome mental factors, then one could not understand as it really is what is beneficial for oneself, or what are the things that are good to others, or both. So just now I mentioned three unwholesome mental factors, loba. Usually we use the English word greed as loba. But the word loba also manifests in different degrees of intensity, such as craving, longing, and so on. Then dosa is another unwholesome mental factors and delusion. So these three unwholesome mental factors usually known as three roots of evil. So even if a person is overwhelmed or overcome by one of the evil roots, then that evils can cause one to do harm or to think of unwholesome ways or to cause pain, suffering to others, to oneself, or to both. So in other words, one will commit evils in thoughts, speech, and body actions. So in other words, these evils, for example, dosa, cause blindness, loss of visions, because it's blinded by these evils. For example, dosa, the unwholesome mental factor of dosa, one, you're not able to see clearly, and it becomes obstruction to the cultivation of wisdoms. It causes distress and does not lead to enlightenment. So that's why it's important to understand well about the dangers of dosa, and evil mental factors. It's also important to know the danger of other unwholesome mental factors. So we should put forth effort to develop wholesome mental factors, good mental states all the time. So it is not only put forth effort to cultivate wholesome mental factors in the temples or during meditation retreats. We should also make an effort to develop wholesome mental factors in our daily life. So this morning, I shall give a brief guidelines or instructions on the way to develop the wholesome mental state of metta, loving kindness, thoughts of goodwill. So here, metta is a wholesome mental state. For example, when you make a mental wish, may my family members be healthy always. So that mental wish is the thoughts of is your thoughts of loving kindness. If, if one doesn't have the thoughts of loving kindness, then one may not able to make this good mental wish. One may not be able to think of the welfare and happiness of others. So when one make an effort to arouse such thoughts, then the opposites of the metta, which is dosa. Dosa means thoughts of ill will, thoughts of causing harm or pain, suffering others can't arise. So we have to put forth intentional effort to develop the wholesome thoughts of loving kindness. So when one aspires to cultivate the wholesome thoughts, then one must know the way, how to arouse the arising of wholesome thoughts. So metta is a mental state, wishing or reflecting on the welfare and happiness of living beings. So there are many objects of loving kindness. In brief, we classify the objects into two types. The first is a specific object. The second is a general object. So there are various specific objects. For example, a person, a group of people, or beings who are staying at certain location can be taken as an object of loving kindness. In other words, loving kindness meditators have to specify the objects of loving kindness. If meditators do not specify any objects of loving kindness, they take all beings as the object of loving kindness. Then loving kindness, these all beings is a general object. Is an unspecific object of is a unspecific object of loving kindness. So when we practice loving kindness, we can practice at any suitable time, suitable place. We can practice loving kindness meditation in all the 4 postures. When we want to meditate, we can choose one of the 4 postures, but it's better that we learn to meditate in all the 4 postures. The 4 postures are sitting, walking, standing, and reclining. Reclining postures refers to lying postures. So as long as one is not sleepy, one is awake, one has to put forth effort to cultivate the thoughts of loving kindness in all the 4 postures at a suitable time, a suitable place. So these cause men to learn to bring the practice loving kindness into their life. So if meditators do have the time, then they should make an effort to practice loving kindness today and tomorrow, constantly, continuously, or as much as possible. When you have opportunity to practice meditation, such as loving kindness meditation at home, you should treasure this opportunity. Home may not be a conducive place to some yogis. And they may still have some duties or responsibilities to the family members and so on. So they learn to practice loving kindness in speech, in actions. Then they should spend time as much as possible to practice loving kindness meditation formally. So every sitting meditation should be preceded by walking meditation, if possible. So meditators can develop the thoughts loving kindness during walking. Meditators have to choose a walking path, walking up and down. But meditators do not pay attention to the walking. They should make an effort to develop the thoughts of loving kindness by wishing the objects of loving kindness. Ideally, the walking path is not too short nor too long. In general, the walking path, the length of the walking path is about 10 steps, or the maximum is 20 steps. So meditators have to practice walking meditation on a walking path. They do not walk here and there. So meditators should concentrate the mind on the development of the thoughts of loving kindness. Meditators should not mindful or pay attention to walking or other things or other phenomena. So at the beginning of walking meditation, as well as at the beginning of sitting meditation, meditators have to practice loving kindness for themselves. They mean, in other words, loving kindness meditators themselves are an object of loving kindness. You have to develop these friendly thoughts of loving kindness for yourself. So I have explained earlier that metta, the word metta is derived from another word, mitta. Mitta means a friend, or a true friend in need. So you have to be friendly to yourself. You have to become your own friends. Your good friend here is your good thoughts, your wholesome thoughts, such as thoughts of loving kindness, or thoughts of compassion, and so on. When you have this good friend in your mind, then when this good friend is manifested in your speech and body actions, then you have only friendly speech or wholesome body actions. So loving kindness meditators have to practice loving kindness for themselves at the beginning of walking meditation, or as well as at the beginning of sitting meditation. But the purpose is not to cultivate concentration. Practicing loving kindness for oneself is not for the purpose of developing concentration, but it is for the purpose of taking oneself as an example. For example, when a person develops the thoughts of loving kindness towards himself or herself by wishing, may I be free from mental suffering, may I be free from physical suffering, may I be free from hostility, and so on. So, in other words, one takes interest in one's own welfare and happiness. If one wishes to be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering, be free from hostility, then one should be always be careful, or we can say be mindful, so that one's speech and body actions will not cause any kinds of pain, suffering to others, as well as to oneself. So if one is truly become one's own friends, one always wishes to be free from suffering mentally and physically, be free from hostility, then the thoughts arising that in reality other beings also wish to be free from mental suffering. Other beings also wish to be free from physical suffering, be free from hostility. In that way, one also takes interest in the welfare and happiness of others. Others wish to be free from suffering mentally and physically, just like the meditators themselves wish to be free from suffering mentally and physical suffering. So this practice of metta is not about selfish love. Is a wholesome state of loving kindness. It is not a selfish love. So meditators, that's why the meditators have to begin the loving kindness meditation, especially during walking and sitting meditation, with themselves. But the purpose meditators have to bear in mind that the purpose is not to develop concentration, but to take oneself as examples. So meditators begin to practice loving kindness for themselves at the beginning of walking meditation, at least about 5 minutes. As well as in the at the beginning of sitting meditation, at least for about 5 minutes. So in that way, meditators walking up and down, practicing loving kindness for themselves, wishing themselves may be free from mental suffering, may be free from physical suffering, may be free from hostility. So here, each mental wish represents a thought of loving kindness. And every loving kindness meditators can choose their own mental wishes. There are many good thoughts of loving kindness or mental wishes. For example, be free from suffering. Here suffering means mentally and physically. Be healthy always. Healthy means not only physically, but it's even more important mentally. Be free from harm and danger. Be safe always. Be able to take good care of oneself happily, and so on. But meditators need not have to choose many different mental wishes during the practice of loving kindness meditation. Meditators may choose a mental wish or 2 or the most 3 mental wishes. Each mental wish is not too long. Meditators make a long mental wish. For example, may all beings be well, happy, peaceful, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering, be free from harm and dangers. In one long metta sentence or mental wish, it can become a distraction to the practice. So in the actual practice of loving kindness meditation, meditators may choose their own mental wish. Some prefer a more positive wishes, such as may I be well, happy, peaceful, may I be healthy always, may I be well, happy and peaceful, may I be healthy always. So meditators have to put forth effort to generate the thoughts of loving kindness, or to put forth effort to arouse the thoughts of loving kindness by making the mental wish again and again. So meditators should not focus their attention on the words or the metta sentences. So as I have emphasized, that each mental wish represents a thought of loving kindness. When you think of the welfare and happiness of this person, then you shall able to wish this person or to reflect on the welfare and happiness of this person by making the mental wish, or may so-and-so be well, happy, peaceful. May so-and-so be healthy always. So here, I give the examples. There's be well, happy, peaceful, and be healthy always. As a mental wishes to to enable the meditators to cultivate the thoughts of loving kindness. So meditators, be aware of this mental wish as the thoughts of loving kindness while practicing walking meditation. May I be well, happy, peaceful. May I be healthy always. May I be well, happy, peaceful. May I be healthy always. Meditators, make this mental wish constantly, continuously, while walking up and down on the walking path. About 5 minutes later, meditators have to choose an object of loving kindness. The thoughts of loving kindness is developed when one is able to wish an object of loving kindness. In other words, the object is external. It can be a specific object or general object. So when meditators choose a specific object in order to cultivate the thoughts of loving kindness, then this way of practice is known as specific loving kindness. If meditators do not choose any specific objects, they direct the thoughts of loving kindness to all beings, then this way of practice is known as unspecific loving kindness or general loving kindness. So during walking meditation, some meditators could not concentrate the mind well on a specific object. It's because their processor movements, as you walk up and down, there are these processor movements of the left foot and right foot, and so on. So if meditators could not concentrate the mind well on a specific object, then they may choose all beings, a general object, as an object of loving kindness. So may all beings be well, happy, peaceful. May all beings be healthy always. Loving kindness is an object of concentration meditations. So there are 40 objects loving kindness. There are 40 objects of concentration meditation, and loving kindness is one of them. When meditators practice concentration meditation, they have to concentrate the mind on one object. They should not pay attention to other things or other phenomena. So here, meditators have to put forth effort to generate the thoughts of loving kindness. When you think about all beings, or when you say, may all beings, the thoughts of loving kindness will not arise by itself. As long as meditators have not yet attained very deep concentration, the practice is not matured. So meditators have to put forth effort to wish the object constantly and continuously, or in other words, repeatedly. May all beings be well, happy, peaceful. May all beings be healthy always. May all beings be well, happy, peaceful. May all beings be healthy always. If the mind has wandered away from the object's loving kindness, meditators should ignore the wandering mind. Sometimes the mind wanders to sense objects, for example, sound or voice, or sometimes the mind wanders away and things about the past or the future, and so on. Meditators should not pay attention to such mental states of thinking, wondering, planning, and so on. So meditators come back to the practice of loving kindness again. So loving kindness is an object of concentration. Meditators may not have to practice 1 hour of walking meditation, but they should practice at least 30 minutes of walking meditation. At the end of the 30 minutes of walking meditation, meditators should proceed to the sitting meditation, sitting down with loving kindness. As you sit down, you should continue your practice loving kindness. If the last objects of loving kindness is all beings, as you sit down, may all beings be well, happy, peaceful. May all beings be healthy always. Those meditators who choose to practice loving kindness to a specific object during walking meditation, then they may choose a person whom they like, or they may choose a group of people. If you practice at home, you may begin your practice of loving kindness with your family members or your parents. May my parents be well, happy, peaceful. May my parents be healthy always. May my parents be well, happy, peaceful. May my parents be healthy always. So you practice loving kindness to your parents as long as possible. If you feel that you could not concentrate on the same objects, for example, your parents for a long time, for example, about 10 or 15 minutes later, you feel that you could not concentrate the mind on the same object loving kindness, and the mental wish of loving kindness is very weak, then you may change to another specific object. For example, may all my family members. So when meditators choose a specific object loving kindness, they should practice loving kindness towards every specific object for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, if possible. Then they may consider to change to another specific object or to general objects. So when meditators have settled down on their seat, you can choose any forms of sitting postures. For example, a lotus postures, a half lotus postures, a free postures, or those who cannot sit on the floor or on the sitting cushions, they may choose to sit on a chair, and so on. So at the beginning of sitting meditation, meditators practice loving kindness for themselves. May I be well, happy, peaceful. May I be healthy always. May I be well, happy, peaceful. May I be healthy always. At least a duration of 5 minutes. The meditators have to choose an object loving kindness. Meditators need not have to look at the time. In the practice of loving kindness meditation, sometimes the instructions is that meditators have to practice loving kindness for one object for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 20 minutes. The duration is depends on the experience and concentration of the meditators, and they rely on their inner clock. They should not open the eyes looking at the clock. So during sitting meditation, meditators have to close the eyes, learn to sit comfortably, let the mind body relax. For example, during sitting meditation, meditators may choose a specific object. It's because during sitting meditation, the postures remain still, upright. So it's more conducive to concentrate the mind on a specific object. In other words, the mind can be more focused during sitting meditation than walking meditation. It's because the postures is still upright during sitting meditation. So meditators may choose any specific object that they like. Ideally, meditators may begin the practice walking meditation, the practice of loving kindness with their family members, with their parents, children, either individually or as a groups. So meditators begins the practice loving kindness by wishing themselves for a duration of 5 minutes. Then they may choose their parents. May my parents be well, happy, peaceful. May my parents be healthy always. May my parents be well, happy, peaceful. May my parents be healthy always. About 10 or 15 minutes later, meditators may choose an object. May all my family members be well, happy, peaceful. May all my family members be healthy always. Ideally, meditators may practice 1 hour of sitting meditation, and every sitting meditation is preceded by half an hour of walking meditation. When meditators choose a specific object, especially a person as an object in kindness, that person is still alive. In the practice of loving kindness, we never choose a person who had passed away. A person who had passed away is not a suitable object of loving kindness. So during sitting meditation, the meditators do feel pain, any kinds of physical discomfort. They should learn to ignore painful sensation or any kinds of physical discomfort as much as possible. But sometimes the pain is unbearable or any kinds of physical discomfort is unbearable. Meditators may move or adjust the sitting postures in order to relieve the painful sensation or any kinds of physical discomfort. But meditators do not do it frequently. If they move frequently because of little bit pain or physical discomfort, it can cause restlessness to the mind. The mind can become restless. So today, meditators may practice loving kindness as much as possible. While meditators are not practicing walking meditation and sitting meditation, if they have to spend time, for example, eating your lunch or dinner, if you are staying alone, then you also learn to practice loving kindness. For example, when you are drinking some water, you may practice loving kindness to all beings. May all beings be healthy always. May all beings be healthy always, and so on. So in order to bring the practice of loving kindness into our daily life, we need to begin with some formal trainings. If there's no experience gained from formal trainings, it may not be easy to bring the practice of loving kindness into daily life. So this loving kindness sometimes is this loving kindness is explained with a simile. It's like a cool water, whereas Lobha, Dosa, Moha, the three roots of evil are like fire. That's why in the scriptures we say there's this fire of Lobha, fire of greed, fire of Dosa, fire of Moha or delusion. This world, as you know, is burning with these fires, or fires of greed, or fire of Lobha, fire of hatred, or Dosa, fire of delusion or Moha. That's why the world is not peaceful. So you wish to see that the world is the world becomes more and more peaceful. We have to begin with our mind. So only when the mind is calm and peaceful, free from impurities or any kinds of defilements, then the world will become peaceful. So with this brief instruction, I wish all meditators in this online called Metta meditations course, you shall put forth effort to learn to practice loving kindness at home or at any place in your daily life, so that you shall be able to abandon this danger, the danger of dosa. Only when the danger is abandoned, then you will put forth further effort to develop wisdoms or to undertake training wisdoms. Then wisdom will arise and lead you to enlightenment or nibbana. So this attainment of enlightenment, nibbana, is the final goal of the practice, or the final goal of three kinds of training. So I wish all meditators have a happy day. In other words, putting forth effort, engaging yourself in this practice, loving kindness, so that you could develop these wholesome thoughts of loving kindness throughout the day, and eventually could realize your spiritual goal in your life. He cannot hear you.
Yes, she's doing it. Yes, so we all say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yes. Before our daily practice today, I would like to mention a little bit with our evening sections. These evening sections. Okay. So For the instructions on Q&A, would be this evening section, so I will read aloud. So you can, if you have any question, you can submit your questions under the Metta workshop WhatsApp group, strictly between 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Thailand time, and 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. Malaysia time. If you do not have WhatsApp, kindly email your questions to behsl8@gmail.com. And please ask your questions pertinent to the practice of Metta meditation. Every participant is limited to only one question per Q&A sections. And if we have time, questions can also be asked during Q&A, and further instruction will be given during the evening section. So today, we wish that you have the full, peaceful Metta day, and you may start your Metta practice from now on. So we pay homage to Bhante first. Putang Pushen, Dhammam Pushen, Sangham Pushen,